at the Bulova Men's 98a105 Marine Star automatic watch. There's quite a few different Bulova watches called the Marine Star, and this is one of the automatic ones, and one of my favorites. Just to kind of take a quick look at it. Notice it is a dive style watch with a pretty thick case, pretty wide case as well. They sell this in a variety of different colors, black and blue kind of being the two most popular ones. You'll see I have it on a Nato strap right here, just because I like Nato straps, but I also have the original bracelet that it comes with, and we'll take a look there. Just to kind of take a quick look, go over some of the details. Like I said, it's a pretty thick and wide watch. It's 43 millimeters in terms of the case size, and then it's about 13 millimeters thick. So it does sit pretty high in the wrist, but it's not overwhelming. If you've got a decent sized wrist, it actually fits quite nicely. I'll put it on real quick so you'll see with the Nato strap. It doesn't sit too big on the wrist. It actually looks really cool with the Nato strap. It looks nice with the bracelet as well. And actually, Bulova was in competition with Omega as far as which watch should be used for the first watch on the moon. They didn't end up winning. The Speedmaster did. They went up to the first moon mission, which is why they're so famous. And maybe you haven't heard quite so much about Bulova, but they do actually make some really nice watches. I think they're kind of considered a mall brand, but really they're under, maybe kind of overlooked. A lot of people don't realize kind of the high quality of watches that they make. You know, people really focus on Seiko and Orient as far as cheap watches, but Bulova makes some really nice pieces for the money. So to look at kind of some of the more details and where you can see, the manufacturing. So this watch, you're probably going to spend about $250 if you buy it online. I think retail somewhere in the range of $500, but you can buy it, even off Amazon for $225. So really an affordable watch. You're going to spend about that much on, comparable dive style watches from Seiko or from Orient or Citizen, that sort of thing. What's really beautiful about this watch is just the amount of detail that goes into it, especially in the face. For the amount that you're spending, you'll notice there's kind of a checkerboard pattern on the outer rim of the face itself, which is a really nice kind of carbon fiber style. A lot of detail went into that. It's got overlaid hour indicators or minute indicators out here on the side, and those do of course have lume on them. They've got a little bit of kind of a shiny metal outer stroke on them, which catches the light. You'll notice that there's kind of a very slight dome on this outer ring, kind of the carbon fiber pattern compared to the center. And again, there's another silver ring that goes around the inside there. So a ton of little detail in the face, which usually you don't get on affordable watches just because it's too expensive to manufacture, and that's certainly not the case here. Even the second indicator, which you'll see spinning around, is the Bulova logo, which is kind of the tuning fork logo. The red hand also looks really cool. And there's a lot of even detail put into the hands. There's kind of a spear hand design, and you'll notice it's almost kind of reminiscent of maybe a Planet Ocean, maybe not so pointy, but certainly looks cool. And again, they've got kind of the steel metal outline that catches light. Same with the logo here, and then a lot of detail even in the minute and hour indicators on the outer edge. So a ton of detail put into this face, and you're really not spending that much to get it. Of course, you can see there's the display window for the skeleton, so you can kind of see the movement going around, which looks really cool. It's always something that's going to impress your friends. Now, the case itself is a polished stainless steel. Again, a lot of detail here. There's kind of got these little bevels and indents on the side, and the same as the true for the back. You'll notice it's a display back so you can see the movement. Again, polished. Got some nice engraving here. Even the movement it's not super decorated, but the rotor does kind of have some nice decoration to it. Kind of you got a textured portion there, and the engraving of the Bulova automatic. It says 21 joules, which is, yeah, it's a 21 joule movement. As a dive style watch, of course, it's got the rotating bezel, which in terms of fit and finish and quality, it feels really nice to spin it. Maybe not quite as nice as the Seiko Monster, which, comparable price, but doesn't have the detail that this watch does in terms of the face. And it's a full dive watch. This is just a dive style watch. It's only rated to 100 meters in terms of depth, so you could probably go swimming with it. Of course, you wouldn't want to go diving with it. There's kind of some notches here, not uncommon of dive style watches, and there's lume on the rotating bezel for the 0 indicator, so you can always see where that is. Very nice looking watch. Movement is a miyota movement, so it's a Japanese movement. And it's actually really impressive. You don't hear much about the movements that Bulova uses beyond they've got some accutrons that use an ETA movement. But one of the things I really love about this movement is just how little effort it takes to get it spinning. You can just kind of give it a little bit of a push and just kind of keeps really winding really quick. So it takes very little movement to actually get it going, which is great. Accuracy on this one has been incredible. Only really gaining a few seconds a day, which is incredible for a watch of this price. And you might spend a few thousand to hope to get that level of accuracy. And it is also a manual wind, so you can turn the crown to wind it. It's not a screw down crown, which is probably one of the reasons that it's not a dive watch, that and the case back. But it does have the logo, the Bulova logo, embedded on the crown. And just, spinning it feels nice. It feels like a really quality crown, well manufactured. Just like spinning the bezel feels really nice. It's a mineral glass, so of course you're probably not going to get sapphire glass for that price. But it seems quite scratch resistant. I wore this watch quite a lot, and there's no scratches on it. And it's got even a little dome to it, which looks really cool, especially with the slightly different domed outer bezel. Pretty good in terms of glare. There's not a whole lot of glare on it. I don't know that they use any sort of anti-glare on the glass or on the crystal, but it does a pretty good job not reflecting too much light and really kind of letting the light play off of the face itself. Again, just you can see how easy it is to get that rotor spinning. It really winds really quick. Pretty smooth hand. It's not second hand. It's probably not the smoothest you get. Of course, you can spend more, but for about the price, it's about what you'd expect. And let's take a look at the strap real quick. It comes with a pretty well manufactured bracelet. It's really pretty heavy, pretty hefty, which is the fashion these days. We're getting away from the kind of the hollow, lightweight feel, and people like something that feels substantial. So it's a presidential style, which looks pretty nice. There's a lot of nice features to it. They kind of have a brushed and polished look to it, which is maybe reminiscent of Speedmaster, which I like. It's got a couple micro adjustments, not a whole lot. The safety clasp, and the safety lock. So pretty thick metal, definitely doesn't feel flimsy. Snaps on really nice. There's a little bit of play in the end links, about what you'd expect. Kind of a noisy bracelet, but again, you could spend a couple $100 on the bracelet itself, unless you're getting a whole watch, so you kind of can't expect too much. They've got the logo engraved there, stainless steel. Really nice bracelet for what you're getting. It also comes with solid end links, which I'm kind of a stickler for. It really makes a big difference. So the end links, do feel really solid, which gives a bit of quality to the entire watch. And I'm going to put the strap on, the bracelet on, so we can take a look at what it looks like that way. Watch with the strap on, the original bracelet. You'll see it kind of really gives the weights, or the watch, some wrist presence, and really looks really nice. It looks like a very well put together, high detail bracelet. Again, kind of the mix between the brushed and the polished. And the end links, solid end links, really kind of integrate nicely into the overall look of the watch. So I'm always really surprised that these watches kind of don't get more attention from watch aficionados, just because it's so much bang for the buck here. Especially if you're looking for something that looks kind of nice, maybe a daily wear that also dresses up really well. This is a perfect watch for it. Keeps great time, awesome movement, great accuracy, lots of detail. Just looks really fancy, and you're only spending a few $100. So if you're looking for kind of a fancy dive looking watch, don't really care so much about actually being able to dive with it, but you do want something that looks nice, maybe looks a little special and feels special, I would highly recommend this watch. There's very little I can say that I don't like. I think the only thing personally that's not perfectly my taste is just kind of the overall shape of the case. Really, this extends a little further than I would like it to. I kind of like more subtle cases, but that's just my personal preference. I know people who prefer just the opposite, and this is a good balance in terms of size and wrist presence. So there's very little to be desired. It's a great watch.